Morning, people. My name is Terrell Harris, one half of the leadership team of the Open Box, where our vision is to make wholeness more accessible. What I wanted to do is read you a quote from a book I'm reading entitled Course of Miracles, and it reads as follows. You and your brother are the same, as God himself is one and not divided in his will. And you must have one purpose, since he gave the same to both of you. His will is brought together as you join in will, that you be made complete by offering completion to your brother. So when I read this particular text, one of the things that actually comes to my mind is the division that we have in society. So if we look at biblical passages such as the creation story, in Genesis 1 we see God creates humanity. In Genesis 2 we see that God creates Adam, and then he makes Eve out of the side of Adam, so almost splitting Adam in half to have, two individuals, that being Adam and Eve. And then we also look at Mark 12, and we actually see Jesus talking about the most important commandments, which is to love God with all your heart and to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So in these particular contexts, there's a oneness that I don't think we as individuals or we as humanity actually adhere to. So if we look at society, we see it's for us as Americans, it's capitalistic. It's all about gain. Oftentimes, a lot of us or some of us actually will try to gain resources or gain money on the backs of other people. We could look at slavery for that. And for us, I think we need to get back to the idea of when we see somebody that has less than us, or we see brothers and, see individuals who are not necessarily our physical brothers and sisters, or we don't have blood relation, I think we still have to look at them as equals and peers. For us, in order for us to be successful in society, in order for us to have actual peace in society, we will have to get past the idea that we're actually different. We all stem from the same creator, regardless of our beliefs. So, it makes it kind of tough when we have all of these divisions in religion. So we'll have Christians, you have Catholics, you have Protestants. For us who are Protestants, there's so many denominations. You have a ton of denominations under the Protestant idea. So you'll have Methodists, you'll have AME, you'll have Baptists, you'll have UCC. There are different Muslims. There's so many different ideas about religion, and for us, instead of respecting each other's ideas, there's this division or this separation that we create, because ultimately when we look at our religious beliefs, we want to be right, and then not only do we want to be right, we actually want to build our team or build our circle to spread the word that we think is actually correct. So, I can understand this, I can understand, being in community with people who are like you, and I can understand, wanting to build communities. But when we look at, the reading I just read, and we also look at Mark, Jesus never sets up a stipulation or a criteria for loving your brother and sister. So for us, we have to realize that no two people will have the same religious beliefs. It doesn't matter what anybody says. We all have our own upbringing. We all have our own set of values, and we all also have a unique mind that God has given us to look at or to receive revelation from whatever religious text we're believing. So the importance of actually viewing each other as equal and viewing each other as whole and viewing each other as creations from God is the actual importance behind that is, in order for us to succeed as a society, we'll have to end up sharing our resources with each other. So the idea that, if somebody becomes rich or somebody becomes a millionaire, that they're just supposed to hold on to those resources for themselves and kind of only share it in our circle is, in the grand scheme of things, when you look at it, it's pretty absurd, because if you're a millionaire or a billionaire or you have a ton of resources, that stuff is good, and it will serve your purpose for some of the things that you do. But how can you not share those resources with those who are in need, even for us who don't have a ton of resources. So for us to actually drive past individuals who are homeless or drive past individuals who are begging for help, it actually shows the separation that we have, because when we see these individuals who are in need, we actually should they're a reflection of us. Even though they may not, look like us, we may not have any connection to, we may not understand our connection to them. They're divinely connected to us because they come and stem from the same creator. So what I want you to do as it relates to this particular message is realize that we all stem from the same source. It's important for us to get past our religious beliefs, the differences in our religious beliefs. It's important for us to actually look at each other. Even if you don't understand somebody, that's okay. But look at each other as brothers and sisters and equals. So for this, I hope that you're able to get past some of the divisions. And even if you have your own particular religious beliefs, understand this. God has created us, and we all stem from the same being, regardless of what we believe. Now, I know for some of us, that may be heretical, but even Jesus said it himself in John 14 that in his Father's house there are many rooms. So when we get to heaven, when we may think we know who's going to be there based on some of our religious affiliations, but we may actually be surprised. Peace and blessings, and remember that everybody you come in contact with is a creation from God.